Something different today. I took a little break and messed with this little Nissan pickup, 84 Nissan, doing some rust repair. It was a job. I tell you what, winter sure blew in here in a hurry. It was like 18 degrees this morning. I think it was 60 yesterday. Well, I got this old Nissan truck and it's very rusty. It belongs to a guy who's in his 90s. And he just wants to make it a little prettier because it's very rotten. He likes to drive it around and he wants it to just be presentable. So we're gonna do like a little lick and stick fix up on this, patch up some of the rust, you know, get it ready for probably just a paint freshen up. Nothing crazy. You know, you don't want to dump a whole bunch of money into it, but these Japanese trucks rotted out pretty bad. This one's no exception. It is extremely rusty. So we'll go ahead and get this battery swapped out because it is very dead. Get it fired up and get it up in the shop, get it cleaned up. And this is just like an afternoon thing, you know, this is not a big project or something that I can dump a bunch of time into. It's just something quick, make this thing a little nicer. A lot of evidence of mices in this thing, so something that needs to be looked at, I think. Get this battery swapped out and see if she'll start, take her up the hill. Don't want to lose that. Throw this on the charger. Plop in the old Roll King. This battery has started probably every car in the shop at least once. It gets around. There we go. All right, let's snug this up and we'll give her a test fire, see what happens. You ready? Dang it. is, which is typical for these trucks. Pretty much any repair I do to this thing is going to be, you know, temporary. Again, the guy who owns it is in his 90s, and he just wanted to make it, you know, a little more presentable. He's had the truck, I guess, since it was brand new, and he just wants to pay it a little respect, which I understand. So he doesn't want to go crazy, just make it pretty. This is some thin metal on these old girls. I think what I'm going to do is just take the grinder, grind this out, see where I'm at, and probably just make 2 strips separately, you know, that have a right angle in them. Weld those together and then make that as one piece and weld it in. And then I'm not going to bite off more than I can chew. I'm going to focus on one thing at a time. Otherwise, I'll go around this whole thing and just drive myself crazy. So this is the first one I'm going to tackle. So I'm going to try to get this cleaned up, see what it looks like. All right, I've got some rust. You could see I hit it with some of this rust prep. I got a little bit left. I don't know that it actually works or that I trust it, but I made up this piece, had the 2 metal pieces folded over, welded together. This is like 20 gauge metal. It's kind of thin, but it's no thinner than the truck is made out of. And it's gonna go right about there. I'm gonna trim some of it back to make it fit better, but I think I'm just gonna overlap it a little bit or maybe slide it under. I just don't want to try to butt weld to this truck, but it's so rusty underneath and up behind. It's just one of those things, you know, the guy wants it to look nice, and it'll look nice and it'll be nice. I don't know. I don't think I can justify spending a ton of time on this truck for this guy. We'd both be losing out. It's just one of those things, you know, and you say it to yourself a lot. Do it right or don't do it at all. But is that really the way to go? I don't know. If a repair is good and strong, this would last years and years and years. But it's not the 100% correct way to do it. But then again, the 100% correct way to do it would be to take the bed off and sandblast it and, you know, drill out the spot welds and fix it that way. So, internal struggle. We'll see what I end up doing. I'm just trying to be open and honest about this truck, you know. I have decided that I'm going to tack weld it on and then sleep on it. I'm going to tack weld this patch panel on and then start jumping to other ones and get them tacked in. Maybe talk to the guy and see how he feels about it. That's going to be the best bet for now. But this is, you know, keep moving forward, see how I feel about it, see how it looks. Try to keep going. ground wasn't very good. Try it over here. There we go. All right. That'll be okay for now, I think. You see it blew right through that, so I don't know. Maybe I'll have to remake at least this much of it. This I ground out a lot. I got that down to pretty good metal. But maybe I'll just have to make this corner. I'll think on it. This side you could see is much worse than the other side. Front and rear of the bed. And that. So yeah, I think I can overlap some patch panels on this truck because it's a bit much. I think it'll be okay. Look at this green stink bug. He's so fresh. Anyway, look at this. Yikes. So the bottom part of this bed has a roll in it. I don't know if you could see it. But yeah, just like that. Just like that. It goes all the way down. So I whipped up this piece. It's not perfect because it's probably not the right shape 100%, but it'll still be really close. The way I did it, sneak over here, is I had this piece of exhaust tubing and this piece of square tubing, and I welded it with a spacer between it. And I slid this piece of right-angled metal up, and then I just kind of hammered it over. And I think that's gonna give me a good enough shape for this patch panel. All right, so I got some of this cut out. I gotta cut out the top, but here's the piece that I'm making up. It's got a little bit of a roll to it. You could see it kind of mimics that right there. I don't think it's going to be too bad, but again, I got to cut some more of it out. I made it too long, that way I'd have enough to cut back. So I'm going to cut this out and try to get this kind of fit in. All right, I got that one test fit with a couple screws. I don't think it's going to be too bad. This isn't perfect, but it's acceptable. I'm going to grind that up tomorrow and tack it in place as well. And keep moving, keep tacking, and then see what I want to do. Because I have a bad suspicion about this one right here, that it's been done before. Because there's some filler in it. We'll see. What I ended up deciding on was cutting and butt welding the edges, and then I flanged all along the top so that this would just lay over that flange, and I'd have something to weld to that would kind of overlap it. I still got to make this corner down here, and then I'll make this piece up here separately as well. But that's how I'm going to solve this issue, because again, this thing's so thin, that flange will help me keep it kind of stronger and less chance of warpage, less chance of blowing through. I think that's going to be the way to go. Pretty simple. It'll be quick, and it should last for a long time. And then I can get up behind it and coat it and cavity wax it and all that. So far it's going pretty good. The bottoms look a little ugly, but it'll all grind out just fine. It is not the picture of perfection, but I'm pretty happy with that. And now I'll go ahead and make these pieces and these and grind all that out and keep on rocking. Hopefully I can get the entire bed patched by the end of the day. Yeah, you can see it's been overlapped before and mudded up, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut all this stuff out, make new patches. All right, I got the rust cut out of these areas, and you can see there's still enough left to spot weld to. I might put a piece in there, but probably not. Maybe I will. I don't know. Anyway, I traced the pieces that I cut out on a piece of sheet metal. Now I'll cut those out and I'll get those fit and we'll see how it looks. All right, here is the patch that I made and cut out, and I punched 2 holes in it for spot welds so I could spot weld it to the inner brace like it was factory. I'm gonna go ahead and get this zapped in with some tacks, and then go ahead and do this one, and I gotta make that one and cut all that out. Got that one roughed in and that one roughed in. I think that's a pinhole. I gotta weld that up. Still just gotta make these pieces and this piece and still this piece. I've been putting it off. It's getting closer. I whipped this patch panel up real quick after cutting all that out, and I'm just gonna let it overlap just the tiniest little bit up through here and down there right above the crease. And I think that's how I'm just gonna install it. Based on everything else I've recently discovered in this truck, I think this will be good. Also, I just want to note that I'm overlapping this because there's a peak right there that I can weld just under that peak, and when I put some body filler on it, it'll just be enough to cover that tiny little bit, and it's gonna be fine. I think I'm done fooling with this for the night. I gotta make that patch yet and those yet, but I think that's good progress. I don't know when I'll get back on this one, so I think I'm just gonna call it for a video as well. And we will get back to this truck if there's any interest in it.